office concert right here at the greenhouse. There will be another one coming up soon, but he's got a new idea for us. So, Fran, please.
No souvenirs.
All right, I'll let you know.
Excellent. Hello, everybody. I guess it's the day of Fran's here, isn't it? I was asked to give a brief recap of the presentation I did, or how things went with the office concerts. Who here was here during my presentation last December? That led to about $5,000 worth of bookings for our festival. We had about a dozen office concerts around Tampa Bay, and it was a wonderful way for us to sort of test this new program. We learned a bunch from it. The events were wonderful, and since then we've sort of been retooling, and I want to briefly introduce Desiree Valorio. If you're interested in an office concert, we're bringing music into the office as a wellness program. She's got a great little offer for you at the end of the presentation. But that's not why I'm here today. So have a look at this and reflect a moment on what your typical live music experience is like. What is it like when you go to see a big show? How much did you pay? How far are the performers from you? How much time are you spending looking at a jumbotron instead of the actual stage? Or maybe even the clubs, if you're going to see an acoustic act at a coffee house or a club. You know, maybe there's a lot of distractions, a lot of noise. Maybe you have a tough time hearing the words. Is it safe to assume that, or is it safe to say that there is room to improve the live music experience? Yes or no? Yes. Well, fortunately for you, we already have 250 years ago. This is Mozart on vacation in St. Pete. Back then, they called it chamber music. You'd have professional artists doing a concert in someone's home, and people would gather as guests. And that concept has stood the test of time. It's evolved, and we now call them house concerts. How many of you have been to a house concert before? So about a third of the room. These things are growing like mad. It's necessity is the mother of invention, and independent touring artists have to figure out how to make small events work. And because of the unique features of house concerts, this is the future for live performers who are on the independent scale. So here's basically how it works. You, as a house concert host, schedule a show in your home, and you invite your friends and neighbors to attend, and everybody pays a suggested donation of $10 to $20 per person, and that's how the artist gets paid. But one of the great perks about house concerts is that the artist is actually a guest in your home. You offer them your guest room, you share a meal together, and once your audience leaves, you get to maybe have a glass of wine together and hear some great stories from the road. So it's a great hobby for people who love to entertain in their home, and if you like meeting interesting travelers, it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I'm a singer-songwriter, and I fell in love with playing these kinds of shows. I've toured around the country, played all kinds of places, and these are really my favorite types of events to do. And back in 2006, there was no good website to educate and inspire people to do this. So I started concertsinyourhome.com. And since then, we've grown. We do about 2,000 events a year around the world. And just to give you an idea of what that looks like, here's Europe. Alaska and Hawaii are off the map, but we even have them in Australia. So it's a wonderful thing, and people around the world are discovering what it's like to reconnect with music on a really, really deep level. So if you think that's remarkable, you're not alone. We've been written up in Billboard, New York Times, CD Baby. But now we have a plan to go from 2,000 events a year to 10,000 events a year. And just so you know, that our business model, artists pay $300 a year to be a part of this. We're kind of like eHarmony for house concerts. Not Tinder. More like eHarmony. So, to get from 2,000 to 10,000 events, we have to get rid of our single biggest obstacle. Can anybody guess what that is? Yes. So help me complete this phrase. I would love to host a house concert, but
My house isn't big enough.
don't have enough room, because you live here, right? Not enough time, not enough friends, not enough space, right? Oh man, I'm running out of time. All right, so we're introducing 10-10 concerts, 10 songs for 10 guests for $10. So this can happen in a dorm room, it can happen in your apartment, it can happen in my apartment on Saturday. Essentially, it's the micro house concert made available to younger folks who are maybe just getting started out in life. They don't have 4,500 square feet. We have sort of like this mansion effect. When you go see a house concert in this area, a lot of times you see something pretty large and you go, I would love to do this, but my place is too small. I don't have enough friends. So, what's in it for you? Let's get the acronym. It's a sublime experience to consider or sponsor. Each one of these events, even though it might only be attended by 10 to 15 people at the show, the web flyers go out to hundreds of people to get the 10 to 15 people and a waiting list and that kind of thing. So I am delighted to take some questions, and if there's room at a little time at the end, I'll play 2 minutes of a song for you so you get the experience of music up close. Okay?
Wonderful and fabulous, and I'm going to talk to you later.
Okay.
I'm just wondering if I have enough small space for 10 people and I would like to do this,
Yeah.
how much do I have to pay through your service?
So that's the wonderful thing, is this, your guests will pay a suggested donation of 10 to 20. So the only money that you spend is whatever you want to provide in terms of coffee, tea, drinks, hors d'oeuvres, that kind of thing. For a 10-10 concert, it's over in an hour. It's 10 songs. It's like 45 minutes, so it's very short. So people actually have time to go have dinner before they come to your place, or you can provide some hors d'oeuvres or whatever.
Yeah, but when I collect $10 from people,
Yeah.
you take commission on that?
No, we get paid from the artist memberships. The artists that are part of our network who have auditioned, who are vetted performers, who have recommendations on their profile, so you know that you're getting a professional who is comfortable to have in your home. They pay a yearly fee to be part of our network, so we don't take a percentage of the shows.
Can I charge less than 10 or more than 10?
10 is the minimum.
Okay. So it's up to me how much price I want to set.
Well, it's between you and the artist. Yeah, so each artist will have different needs depending on when you book them. Yes?
How much advance notice do you need to coordinate? Or do you have like a registration online, or how's that done?
So if you go to concerts in your home, you click on artists and you click on help an artist on tour in your area. We actually list artists who are planning to come to Florida and are looking for concerts because they've got little gaps in their schedule. They've got a Tuesday night off, a Thursday night off. And if they don't find a show, they're going to be losing money. They're going to lose money on hotel, food, whatever fuel they spent to get here, right? So they might be traveling from Orlando to, or from, let's say, Tallahassee to Miami, and they've got to come through here anyway. And why not play a small show, right?
I'm with a nonprofit in the community called the Tranquil Shores Foundation. We're having an event in October, and I would love to talk to you and see if y'all could come
Happy to do it.
out to our gallery to work with us.
More questions? Yes.
I'm kind of interested in some of the numbers. So, how many bands do you have on your list? I think you.
We have about 300 active artists at any given time.
And what sort of rate do your customers come back? So, what's your customer retention rate? How many of the people who?
In terms of hosts or artists?
In terms of hosts, yeah.
Right.
In terms of hosts.
So our hosts, they are welcome to be part of our community, whether they host 1 or 2 shows a year, or like a lot of our hosts, it's their monthly hobby. They do it every month. It's their thing. They grow a mailing list over time, and they're thrilled by the experience, and they do it over. We have a host in California that's been doing this for 16 years. They've had 200 shows in their house. So some people sell the house, get a bigger one because they want to do bigger shows. I mean, it's serious. People fall in love with this in a big, big way. Yes.
I just want to share, I have 4 clients in my chair that thoroughly support him, and 2 of them are one of the monthly people, and they just are elated to talk about him and say what an amazing experience it is. So I'll give them a little testimonial.
Yeah. Yes.
Where are you located and how many artists perform in a in-home concert?
So one artist per concert, but that artist might be a duo or a trio, but usually small acts to just accommodate two living room space. Yeah. So usually, most often it's a single guy with an acoustic guitar, just like me.
Real quick, what is the range of artists? Is it from amateurs to professionals?
All professionals. You have to have a professional website, at least 2 YouTube videos that show what you might be like in this kind of environment. So when you audition for concerts in your home, you can't be rocking a big stage with a big light show and 12 dancers and give anybody an impression of what to be like in their home. So yeah, a lot of artists have to audition a couple times before they have the right. Because we don't want to take money from an artist and then not have them get bookings, right? So we want to make sure that they're a fit.
Well, like, what I'm trying to get at is, are you doing local bands as well?
Well, everybody's a local band somewhere, right? And we're a worldwide site. So we focus on touring professionals. So if you're only playing in the Tampa Bay area, you probably wouldn't be a good fit for us because you're not going to be able to access 95% of our resources. We have artists who live here who are playing living rooms in Paris because of what we're doing. So it's a fantastic opportunity. We want every artist who's part of our network to take full advantage. Yes?
This is the first I've ever heard of you. I think it's a really great concept.
Thanks.
How do you create awareness so more people are
Well,
aware?
we've been digging deep for the past couple of years in terms of building the technology to really widen our footprint. We're really the #1 destination. If you Google house concerts, we're it. But we are also we have a listening room network, which is the umbrella for all we do. And with that, we have office concerts, listening room festival, which happens in April. It's basically a festival of house concerts around Florida. We have a lot of little things that we're working to sort of unite under one brand and even support the public venues that honor this tradition of actually being able to hear the artists. You know, places like the Hideaway, places where you go and you have an intimate connection. We can get somebody new who hasn't asked for questions. Yes?
Are these all acoustic sets, or can we have the artist plug in and do it like?
Yeah, well, depending on, for 1010, it's perfect for totally unplugged, but some house concerts have 20, 30, 40, 50 people, and for that, typically the artist will bring a little sound system. Yeah. Yes?
Is this your concept, or is this, or are there others like this?
So house concerts have been happening for decades in terms of this general format. They used to have rent parties back in the 50s. That's how the jazz players would be able to pay their rent. They'd have a party at their house, they'd jam, and people would just give what they could. So it's not a new concept, but we're sort of the leading promoter of it. Yes, Eric.
So I just first a comment that after being swept up into this thing and attending some fantastic house concerts, my wife was totally blown away to meet you one day and learn that Concerts in the Home was actually organized out of St. Petersburg. So big applause to you. And, I mean, it's a fantastic. It's a big thing. And secondly, what is the absolute coolest house concert that you have ever played?
Oh wow! I did one in Houston where they had turned 2 residential properties into a natural habitat in the backyard. So I was playing a gazebo with doves behind me, a duck, a goose, and a rabbit doing the laps around me as I played. Yeah, it was just an amazing sort of oasis in the middle of Houston. That was pretty fantastic. Yes?
Have you considered taking these into assisted living facilities?
Well, the challenge with playing for assisted living facilities is when you get up into your 60s, 70s, and 80s, you tend to want to hear music that you know. You don't want to hear the latest independent artists. You want to hear some Frank Sinatra or something that's going to make you feel good and make you think of the past. So for us, it's not really a great fit. Yes? Yes?
Oh, were you on WMNF this past year?
A few times, yeah.
I heard.
Yeah. Yes?
Oh, when a musician signs on to your organization, how are their travel expenses paid for to go to Paris or whatever?
They pay their own way. They book their own tours. This is what you do as an independent artist. You spend an hour playing, you spend 5 hours driving, and 3 hours or 4 hours on the internet putting things together.
How is it profitable? The second question for that artist.
So think about what they do. Think about all the Kickstarter campaigns. Artists are investing so much of what they make into what they do that there's not a whole lot left over at the end of a record sale or at the end of a show. But the problem that we're solving is the way they lose money when they have nights off on the road. And since the sales of recorded music are losing value and frequency for most artists, live music is where it's at when it comes to financial income. And we are basically helping them to turn an unprofitable tour to something that's profitable, or something that was marginally profitable into something they can go home and feel great about. It's like, okay, I did 10 shows, I made a couple grand, and you know, this is the way for me. So when you compare house concerts to experiencing clubs, you have to just look at their alternatives. So they're dedicated to playing music. And if they make 20 grand a year, or if they make 80 grand a year, or 200 grand a year, they're committed. So what we're doing is we're helping these people that are committed to doing it, and helping them take it up a notch financially.
So where's your growth? Are you looking to go into office concerts as well, like NPR, Tiny Desk, and stuff like that?
Right. Well, a Tiny Desk concert is a great example of what that can look like, the office concert. But that's one of the things that we're doing. The advantage that we have is we have this worldwide network where we know the artists are vetted, and we know that they're appropriate for different types of programs. So we're innovating around the idea of house concerts with 10-10, office concerts with dinner and song, dessert and song, and creating different ways for artists to get closer to their fans. Yeah.
Do you explain the holiday season? I've seen it probably busiest season from now in January, or is it?
Well, holiday season actually, if you think about it, as a host, you're going to be busy, you're going to be shopping. It's actually one of the slowest times of year for us in terms of bookings. And also, the bookings that do happen during the holiday season, again, it's kind of like the senior assisted living. You want to hear Christmas music. You want to hear party music. And music becomes a background. And we're about foreground music.
Yay.
Yes?
All right, I'm going to check out the site.
Yeah.
And everything, but as far as the artists that you have that put on these concerts, what's the selection process? Like if I go on there and I want to book a concert and I want to hear a little clip of music they play.
Yeah, every artist has video and audio.
Do you all take all artists that come to you, or
No, there's an audition process. They have to give us a professional website that shows that they're touring, and actually, sort of dedicated to the art. They don't just have a little free template type of thing, right, or a MySpace page or something like that. Yes.
Yeah. Just a quick testimonial. My day job is Eagle, and we invested in Fran's deal for The Office, which was brought up, and then we gave those to some of our key clients. So they ended up having an office experience, compliments of Eagle, and I think it was, kudos.
Thank you. Yeah, it was great. You guys were one of our first clients. You bought 3 office concerts as part of a package during our festival. And so not only did Eagle have an office concert with Rebecca Loby, they sponsored a show, or paid for a show at Amex for Serve, where they had the Currys playing in the big lobby of One Progress. Probably not the best place for a concert. But it's I mention that because the example is you don't have to have a huge space for an office concert either. The small intimate stuff is great. A little boutique shop with 8 to 10 employees, fine. We love that. Yes?
Again, I haven't been on your website, but as a person selecting artists, is there a way to optimize the selection for that artist if you're picking from a local, bands that are more local or more regional, to make it more affordable for the artist and have them make more money by being selected that way?
Yeah, you can search for artists that live in Florida.
Okay, great.
Yeah. But keep in mind, an artist who lives here is not going to have the benefit of a free place to stay and the perks that come along with a house concert. So it's counterintuitive, but you're actually doing more for a traveling artist by hosting a house concert than you would be for a local. Because the idea is they're coming through your town anyway. Yes. Yes.
Sorry, versus your music selection for
So as you can imagine, a majority of what we do is sort of acoustic singer-songwriter types, but we have pop, we have R&B, and we have some really terrific sort of world artists, some people who've had major hits, who are, their name is unknown as a performer, but they have these great stories. Somebody just had, Ken Fisher just had Buzz Cason, who wrote Everlasting Love and other hit songs. He's a name that you probably don't know, but this is a guy that hung out with Elvis and toured with Peggy Lee and knows everybody from the start of rock and roll. It's pretty incredible. To have this guy telling stories in your living room. Yes? Somebody grab the guitar for me? 2 minutes? Go ahead.
Let's say a performer's coming here and like 10 of the song play. Does the performer get a chance to talk to the potential host beforehand or see pictures of the venue? I also have to check that with everybody. But if someone's traveling, 10 of us want to have one person, like a house concert.
So the artist can stay down for 10 nights. If 10 people want to host him, is that what you're talking about? Or?
No, I'm saying if he's just here for one night, he's only got one night available, and multiple people would want him. How does he get to choose? Or how does the artist get to choose?
Well, typically it's going to be first come, first serve. In terms of, especially if you're talking about a small show, if they had the option to play for a larger house concert for 35 or 40 people, they might opt to do that rather than a 10-10. But I'm not sure if I'm answering.
Do you get to like talk to them beforehand, or is it?
Yeah, you exchange emails. Yeah, absolutely.
May I just invite everybody to check in and see how you're feeling now, and notice how you're feeling after each race. Every cell of your body is about to get a massage.
All right, thank you very much. You complete the world. If only the world set you free. Could you let it go and leap into the sky? You're the only one I know that can bring me back to life. I am the moon, you are the sea. What would you do if you were me? Would you just fall into me? I'll break a billion lovers' hearts tonight. Catch the salty swollen rivers as they cry. An ocean full of tears would fill me up again. So let go of your troubled world and I will take you in. I am the moon, you are the sea. What would you do if you were me? If you were me, I picture myself in your greens and your blues. I am in orbit and you are my muse. I have been faithful, I have been true. There's nothing left for me to do, so I'll have to fall into you. Thank you. So, you want to ask the last question? Or,
Sure.
Or one more?
We have time for one more.
Do you have a marketing system to actually send out emails and invites and things when somebody does sign up with you?
Yeah, we have these little web flyers. So if you book an artist from our site, you type in the date, the time, and suggested donation, and boom, all that artist information goes into a nice little web flyer. The web flyer has a house concert invitation video, because you're going to be sharing this with people who have no idea what you're talking about. So the video explains what they're being invited to, what's expected of them, what they should expect. And so those have been really, really helpful.
As far as the idea of inviting artists into your home to overnight, I just wanted to say that the first artist we ever saw was Jesse Terry. Then there were the twins out at Judy's house. These are people that we just want to take them home and adopt them. And it is just the coolest thing we've ever seen. So
Yeah, this concept attracts very kind, sweet people, both on the artist side and obviously on the host side, because they're doing it as a volunteer. It's a generous act. You're a patron of the arts. Instead of writing a $20,000 check to the orchestra, you can take in an artist in your home. It really widens the playing field in terms of people who want to contribute to the arts.
Two quick questions.
Yes.
One, how close are we to developing an Uber for live music where I'm just down in the dumps